Welcome to Book Bus Reviews and Summaries. Today, we are diving into a book that's like a warm hug on a tough day. You're Going to Be Okay by Holly Goethe. Have you ever had one of those days when everything seems overwhelming and you're not sure how you'll make it through? This book is written for those very moments. Holly Goethe, a master of encouragement, offers comforting truths and practical advice that speak directly to your heart, reminding you that no matter how hard life gets, you're stronger than you think, and you're never alone. Through a blend of personal stories, uplifting messages, and actionable steps, Goethe gently guides you to embrace hope, resilience, and the belief that better days are ahead. It's more than just a book, it's a companion for your soul, especially when life feels uncertain or challenging. Whether you're going through a tough time right now or want to be prepared for when those hard days come, this book offers the encouragement you need to keep going. Ready to find the strength to say, "I'm going to be okay"? Let's explore the heartwarming wisdom of Holly Goethe together. Introduction: Meeting Holly Goethe's heartfelt message. Imagine waking up on a morning that feels heavier than usual. The world outside is as it always is, but inside, there's a storm brewing, unseen by others but profoundly felt by you. Holly Goethe's "You're Going to Be Okay" is written for these days. The days when the weight of the world feels unbearable, when doubt creeps in, and when you question if you can keep moving forward. Goethe, a seasoned life coach, therapist, and best-selling author, opens the door to her readers with a warm embrace of empathy and understanding. From the first page, she speaks directly to the heart, addressing those dark, difficult moments with a voice that is both comforting and empowering. Her mission is clear: to reassure you that, no matter what, you're going to be okay. Chapter 1: Navigating the Storms of Life. The book begins by acknowledging the storms that inevitably come into our lives, whether they are external challenges like loss, illness, or financial struggles, or internal battles like anxiety, depression, and self-doubt. Goethe doesn't shy away from the reality that life is hard, nor does she offer quick fixes or shallow platitudes. Instead, she gently guides the reader through an exploration of these difficult experiences. Holly Goethe tells the story of her own struggles, drawing readers into her personal narrative of pain, hope, and healing. She shares how she has faced her darkest moments, not by avoiding them, but by walking through them with courage and faith. This vulnerability sets the tone for the entire book, making it clear that Goethe isn't just offering advice from a distance, she's been in the trenches herself. As we delve into the first chapter, Goethe presents a powerful truth: we all have storms, but they do not define us. She invites readers to take a step back and view their lives from a different perspective, understanding that the storms are temporary and that there is strength to be found in the midst of them. This perspective shift is the first of many truths that Goethe will explore throughout the book. Chapter 2: The Power of Perspective. In the next chapter, Goethe deepens the discussion on perspective. She explores how our mindset shapes our experience of the world and how shifting our perspective can transform our lives. This chapter is filled with practical advice on how to cultivate a mindset that fosters resilience, hope, and peace. Goethe introduces the concept of truth versus lies, the idea that much of our suffering comes from believing lies about ourselves and our situations. These lies might sound like, "I'm not good enough," "things will never get better," or "I'm all alone." Goethe urges readers to identify these lies and replace them with truth. To illustrate this, she shares stories of individuals who have experienced profound transformation by changing their perspective. One particularly moving story is about a woman who had been battling severe depression. Through her work with Goethe, this woman learned to recognize the lies she had been telling herself for years and began to embrace the truth that she was loved, valuable, and capable of healing. This shift didn't happen overnight, but with time, her life began to change in ways she had never thought possible. Goethe's insights on perspective are both practical and deeply spiritual. She draws on her Christian faith to offer a vision of life that is grounded in the belief that we are all beloved children of God and that our worth is inherent, regardless of our circumstances. This message of unconditional love and acceptance is a recurring theme throughout the book, and it is one of the reasons why You're Going to Be Okay resonates so deeply with readers. Chapter 3: Embracing Vulnerability. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, but Goethe challenges this notion by presenting it as a source of strength. In this chapter, she discusses how embracing our vulnerability allows us to connect more deeply with others, experience greater empathy, and ultimately, find healing. Goethe shares her own journey of learning to embrace vulnerability. She talks about the fear and shame that once kept her from opening up to others, and how she discovered that true healing comes when we allow ourselves to be seen and known, warts and all. This chapter is both an invitation and a challenge to let down our guards and embrace the messiness of being human. The stories in this chapter are particularly powerful. Goethe recounts moments when she has witnessed others stepping into vulnerability with courage and grace, and how these moments have led to deep connections and profound transformation. One story that stands out is that of a man who, after years of hiding his struggles, finally opened up to his close friends. What he found wasn't rejection or judgment, but overwhelming support and love. This experience not only changed his life, but also deepened the bonds within his community. Goethe's discussion of vulnerability is woven with practical advice on how to take small steps toward greater openness in our own lives. She offers tips on how to start conversations about difficult topics, how to set boundaries that protect our emotional well-being, and how to seek out supportive relationships that encourage vulnerability. Chapter 4: Finding Strength in Weakness. In a culture that often glorifies strength, independence, and self-sufficiency, Goethe's message in this chapter is countercultural. There is strength in acknowledging our weaknesses. She draws on the biblical principle that, when I am weak, then I am strong, to Corinthians 12:10, explaining how recognizing our limitations allows us to lean on God and others in ways that make us truly strong. Goethe's own story of grappling with chronic illness serves as a powerful illustration of this principle. She shares how her illness forced her to confront her own limitations and depend on God in ways she hadn't before. Through this experience, she discovered a deeper strength that came not from her own efforts, but from surrendering to God's grace. This chapter also includes stories of others who have found strength in their weakness. One story tells of a woman who, after losing her job, felt completely defeated. But in her vulnerability, she reached out to her community for help. What she found was not only practical support, but also a renewed sense of purpose and a deeper connection to the people around her. Goethe encourages readers to reframe their weaknesses not as failures, but as opportunities for growth and connection. She offers practical advice on how to embrace our limitations, ask for help when needed, and find strength in the support of others. Chapter 5: The Importance of Self-Care. In this chapter, Goethe addresses a topic that is often overlooked, especially by those who are in the habit of putting others' needs before their own: self-care. She emphasizes that self-care is not selfish, but a necessary practice for maintaining our physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Goethe's approach to self-care is holistic, encompassing everything from getting enough rest and eating well to nurturing our spiritual lives and setting healthy boundaries. She shares how she learned the importance of self-care through her own experiences of burnout and how implementing small, consistent practices of self-care transformed her life. One of the most relatable stories in this chapter is that of a young mother who, overwhelmed by the demands of parenting, felt guilty for even thinking about taking time for herself. Through her work with Girth, she began to understand that taking care of herself wasn't just about her own well-being, but also about being able to care for her family more effectively. This realization led her to make self-care a priority, which in turn made her a more present and joyful parent. Girth provides practical tips on how to incorporate self-care into our daily routines, even when life is busy and chaotic. She encourages readers to start small, with simple practices like taking a few minutes each day for quiet reflection or going for a walk. Over time, these small acts of self-care can add up to significant improvements in our overall well-being. Chapter 6: Overcoming Fear and Anxiety. Fear and anxiety are common struggles for many people, and in this chapter, Girth offers hope and practical strategies for overcoming them. She shares how her own battles with anxiety have taught her to rely on God's promises and to take small steps toward peace. Girth's stories in this chapter are both personal and universal. She talks about the times when fear has gripped her heart, making it difficult to move forward. But she also shares how she has learned to face her fears with faith and courage, trusting that God is with her in every situation. One of the most powerful stories in this chapter is about a woman who had been paralyzed by fear for years, unable to pursue her dreams or even enjoy her life. Through her work with Girth, she began to confront her fears one by one, taking small steps toward freedom. This process wasn't easy, and it took time, but eventually, she found herself living a life that she never thought was possible, one filled with joy, purpose, and peace. Girth offers practical advice on how to manage fear and anxiety, including mindfulness techniques, prayer, and grounding exercises. She also emphasizes the importance of community and reaching out for support when needed. This chapter is filled with encouragement and hope, reminding readers that they don't have to face their fears alone. Chapter 7: The Power of Hope. Hope is a recurring theme throughout You're Going to Be Okay and in this chapter, Girth explores its transformative power in depth. She explains that hope is not just a fleeting emotion, but a deep, abiding trust in God's goodness and faithfulness. Girth's own story of holding on to hope during difficult times is both inspiring and relatable. She shares how, even in the darkest moments, she has learned to keep her eyes on the hope that God offers, a hope that is unshakable, no matter what circumstances may come. The stories in this chapter highlight the resilience of the human spirit. One particularly moving story is about a man who, after experiencing a series of devastating losses, felt completely hopeless. But through his faith and the support of his community, he slowly began to rebuild his life. This process was not quick or easy, but it was filled with moments of grace and glimpses of hope that kept him going. Girth encourages readers to cultivate hope in their own lives by focusing on God's promises, surrounding themselves with supportive people, and practicing gratitude. She offers practical tips on how to keep hope alive, even when life feels overwhelming. Chapter 8: Living with Purpose. In the final chapter, Girth brings everything together by discussing the importance of living with purpose. She explains that when we align our lives with God's purpose for us, we find meaning and fulfillment, even in the midst of challenges. Girth's own journey of discovering her purpose is both inspiring and relatable. She talks about the times when she felt lost and uncertain, and how, through prayer and reflection, she gradually began to understand the unique calling that God had for her life. The stories in this chapter highlight the diverse ways that people live out their purpose. One story that stands out is about a woman who, after years of struggling with self-doubt, finally stepped into her calling as a writer and speaker. This journey was filled with obstacles and setbacks, but through it all, she remained committed to the purpose that God had placed in her heart. Girth encourages readers to take steps toward discovering and living out their own purpose. She offers practical advice on how to listen to God's voice, discern our unique gifts, and take action, even when the path ahead is unclear. Conclusion: You're going to be okay. As we close the pages of You're Going to Be Okay we are left with a sense of hope, peace, and renewed purpose. Holly Goethe's words have been a guiding light through the darkness, reminding us that no matter what we face, we are never alone, and we are always held in God's love. This book is more than just a collection of encouraging truths, it's a companion for the journey, a source of strength on the hard days, and a reminder that, in the end, we are all going to be okay. Read the book to learn more, and if you enjoy my content, consider subscribing to support the channel and stay updated on future uploads. Thank you.